maybe we can let me set the agenda for today. So there are 3 parts, right? First part, let's walk through the outcome of our research and findings, okay? And then part 2, let's maybe walk through some logistic matters. Also, since we kind of trying to target a launch and then actually get everything out before World Cup 2022. Yeah. Okay. And then meanwhile, we can have some discussions once we go through these 2 pieces of agenda, because definitely Chris is still trying to shortlist, finalize the feature list. I came up with the first draft, and then let's discuss that for the rest of the session. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Let's go through that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Fatima and Chris, walk us through the research findings.
Okay, so I was telling Fatima that I'm not so sure that we do have any research findings because we didn't really speak to any analysts at all. But that being said, I think we've also made the decision to just go it and try to see where this goes, because it sounds like there's a lot of interest in it. It may not be fully validated, but yeah, that's where the next step, like Fatima, I need your help to be able to onboard some of the real-life analysts so that we can get adoption and get the supply of predictions into our system.
I think this is a good point, Chris, because from what I wanted for the analyst. Don't have motivations, they don't have incentives to join the game. The other is, I don't know, but the guy that you talked, that Inza, that we had to pay the guy to talk to us. And you also, I couldn't watch the video. Because from what we did, I'm not convinced that even if we go for more, if we are going to really seduce them, to really bring them to the game, maybe we should. That he could, after a lot of work, schedule, we had to pay the guy to talk to us. And it was not really insightful.
That was the guy that he paid. The guy that we actually talked to was, he doesn't have any followers at all. He's just posting on a free channel. So the
So maybe we should not insist in this profile.
So if we don't build the product for analysts, who are we building it for?
For people who want to play.
Who's going to play if there's...
Wow, that's faulty.
I don't know. Gary, how are your thoughts? Calvin, Satish?
So, my network is really poor right now. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So this is what I'm seeing, right? There's really 2 very different markets right now. One is the professional market and one is the amateur market, or more just hobby. People just doing it out of fun, Kevin. People that's kind of doing it out of fun, just like Gary's. The game would be really focused on them. It's essentially we could just totally forget about the entire professional market, people like Dre, like Ilya.
Wait, Gary, repeat again. You just dropped into a hole.
Oh, okay. Let me repeat myself.
Start from the. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Okay. So there are really, after I like listen through all the findings, there are really two groups, right? One are the professionals, people that are actually getting paid to do their job, right? Those people, we can technically just forget about them. They're not going to play this game. So it's I would say this game is more for like, the people just doing it out of fun, right? People that kind of like want to like, anyway, I'm really doing it. Like Kevin, like spending 4 hours per day doing it, and Gary's kind of like looking at the market every day. For them, it's more like, okay, I don't really do this as a job. I kind of like do this because I like doing it. Then it's like, okay, this is another avenue for me to kind of like just like, okay, validate myself. Two very different segments. Make sense? No?
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. So then it's not, I wouldn't even say it as kind of like something that like a professional, it's kind of like it's going to end up becoming a tool that professionals would use. It's just purely going to become a game. And if you're already like semi-professional, like with followers, then this game is probably not even interesting for you. Yeah, that's all the thoughts I have.
Calvin, what do you think? Because even like a profile like you with like about 200 followers, like from our talk, if you were not close to Gary and have some whatever interest in our game, would you join? Maybe I was not even convinced that you in a different position would join.
Yeah.
Okay, you see, when there's a game, games are supposed to provide a form of reward. Okay, be it monetary reward or psychological reward. But a game must provide reward. If not, there is no reason for playing it. Okay, let's establish that. So in any game theory, you have to make the person playing feel good. So now the question is, this game that you are designing, you're asking me whether I will join it. Okay, so my question is, how are you going to make me feel good? You know what I mean? So feel good, there's two ways I can think of, okay? Either you pay me to feel good, which means prizes, okay? The second way is intangibles, bragging rights. I feel good because I'm very high up on your leaderboard. Then I want to show off my ratings, Then it creates this competitive spirit in me that I want to prove that I'm better than someone. But in order for that to happen, your game must be.
Oh, Kevin froze.
Now, yes, it's Calvin time to free.
Kevin, you there?
Looks frozen.
Yeah.
Froze.
So, but let me add something from the formula that he's proposing. Maybe we have this, what he's saying, it's important, right? That's it's gonna have like the money and also the intangible. No,
Oh yeah. So technically, with like this game rollout, just think of it, we're not really going after like professional analysts. No, this is going after like people that just like want to like, regular punters. People kind of like want like batting like in the stock markets anyway. Folks like that. Wait, is Kevin coming back at all?
It's only that we tried. I just wanted to recognize Pri's effort. She did a lot. Inza also did a lot. And even with all that time consuming and a lot of effort, analysts, like the professional analyst, small, medium, and big. Yes.
Yeah, the solution, even if it's rolled out, not really like for that group.
Okay, sorry, Gary, who are we building for then? Who's going to be, I don't understand, who is this target audience now? We established that it's the amateur analyst, right?
The amateur analyst.
Amateur, yes. So it's never going to be the paid professional analyst. We've
No.
already established that. I think Kelvin in his very first session, he already said professionals will be the watchdog, and it's not in phase one.
Nope, not in phase one.
Right. So I think we are clear on that. Have we established that our target audience are amateur analysts and we can move on?
Yep. Yeah, let's move on. Cool.
So
Okay.
just let when Calvin is back, just make sure that he's with us in the same pace.
All right, his internet speed is kind of like, is he coming back? Let me text him. Yeah, his internet just dropped off.
It's okay. We can just wait still.
All right. So, Pris, meanwhile, while we wait, how's like the schedule like on the other side, Earn Games?
They're still texting me now. Everybody's texting me. It's like, oh my God, I had like dinner and then like everybody is like texting me. It's like, I don't understand what's happening. Blanco was like, what? Why suddenly? Yeah. Why am I suddenly the go-to person for everything? It's like, what?
Oh, it's like the UI,
Yes.
UX, everything coming to you now.
No. And then we were supposed to launch on 20th, right? Suddenly, like Monday, Neo called a meeting and then he changed almost everything.
Oh, okay.
It was like, okay,
Very
yeah, sure.
Gary, you infected me. What happened?
I have no idea. Butterfly effect. Okay, while you dropped off, we clarified, okay, forget about the professionals. Professionals not for phase one, watchdog, we can do that later. Okay, just like go after the amateurs. Now, people not getting paid like to actually do this, but they enjoy doing it. Okay.
Yep.
So based on that, like the outcome is, all right, the jackpot, if it's like big enough, people find it exciting, right? Even if there's
Correct.
no, and then the other aspects of it, the leaderboard, if it's there, I can use it as my bragging rights. I feel good about it. I'll like brag on Facebook all day long that, yes, I just made a good prediction. I'm sure you feel like doing that, right, Kevin?
Yeah, but my second part where I dropped off, before I dropped off, is your user base must be big enough
Yes.
for your leaderboard to matter.
Or
So it's yeah.
actually, there's another way to look at it. You know, it's not
Okay.
about massive. It's not about big. It's about maybe at the start the leaderboard. Well, the other folks on the leaderboard that's there must be folks I know, right? It's like me bragging to strangers. Who cares? But me bragging to like 20, 30 of my friends that's actually on the leaderboard, it's like, kick your ass. The social dynamic.
Also true.
Yeah, it's
Also
like when
true.
you look at the Facebook like profile, Facebook method, right? If you can onboard like 7 of your friends within like first week itself, right? Already there's critical mass from a social perspective. See, you don't really have like need to have a million users on day one. You just need to make sure like at least 10 of your friends are in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you can like say, hey, you know, there's like 10 of us, I know all of you, and I kick all your ass, I feel good about it. So the referral mechanism is very important. Yeah. Okay, good. Right, good. So next, we ready to kind of like move on to the next part of our product meeting. Okay, good. We kind of like lock everything down. Let me share my screen.
Okay.
Good. My internet finally stabilized. Not this one, but sorry.
Are you using Starlink?
No, I'm using my phone. Just now I was like hooked up to the McDonald's. McDonald's sucks. Anyways.
McDonald's.
Yeah,
Okay.
it really sucks. So wait, Priscilla, you there? Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. So before we kind of like start, right? Since like this thing is kind of like literally like product management. So if anything slips, right, everything else down the road is just gonna slip. So I just like want to get all your inputs, like if we kind of go down this product management route where like there's a whole bunch of dependencies, right? Would we be willing and able to commit to the timeline, right? Because if like we cannot, right, individually, then the whole thing is just gonna go off rail, and then like we're gonna miss the schedule. So that's the question I'm asking myself and asking all of you. Like, do we feel that we are ready to commit to this kind of timelines?
Don't really
I'm just
understand
going
your
through
question.
So it's like maybe just like let me walk through, right? For example, like there's like 3 parts to this product, this whole like rollout till like World Cup. There's the product development, there's the go-to-market, and there's the fundraising. Every item in there must happen and must work before we can like really say, hey, we are ready for World Cup. If like one part even slip at all, right, then it's like by the time like World Cup comes, we won't be ready at all, and then it's like totally like slip behind. And then like everyone else, meanwhile, is just like waiting for like 1 or 2 person to kind of like, okay, your part, is it finished? Is it not finished? Make sense? So
Yep.
all our tasks is all tied together. It's like it's almost like we are kind of like very interlinked. So yes, that's the question. It's like it's like kind of like commitment level at that. It's like this is the question I'm asking. It's like, are we able and willing to like commit to this? Do we really have enough bandwidth to commit to this like kind of timelines, or we don't really have the bandwidth?
Gary, so can you go, please, can you go up and see by the end of this month, like what I have to deliver and what Pris has to deliver? And
yeah. Cool. So by the end of this month, which is like the week starting of like June 27th, right? So me and Pris needs to finalize the feature list of like what we really like want to have in the game.
Let's do that today.
Huh? Oh, okay.
Let's do that today.
Perfect. And then landing page, the actual like UI, so that we can start doing the implementation. Front end should be ready. So like by end of this month, front end of like the landing page should be done. And then by end of this month, the prediction submission form should be already designed, and I should have already done the back end engineering, the whole database, all the the back end like business logic.
Hey, pause. Pause. The prediction UI that you are mentioning,
yeah,
and your target now is the World Cup.
Yeah,
it's a totally different kind of prediction already. Okay, your prediction model for World Cup will not use my formula at all.
It will be, you know what?
It's very different because mine is price differential. So how does football scores, go into price differentials? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very different. The model is very different. The modeling is very different. Now yours is more of like, it's literally like, like our football betting, like it's basically DraftKings. What you're designing now is it becomes DraftKings. You see the problem?
Go down the like DraftKings like model method, or we can just like kind of like take the football.
Whenever you create something, you must value add. Value add in the sense that you must be better than the other competitor or better than nothing. So now you're going down the World Cup route, which is what DraftKings is. They bet on soccer, they bet on horses, they bet on tournaments. So how does it differ from DraftKings?
DraftKings has jackpot?
Yes.
Oh, they do have jackpot.
Everyone is a gambling website, my friend.
I see. So basically you're telling me World Cup, forget about it.
World Cup is not a this World Cup thing is basically what okay, let me how do I put it this way? I'm not sure in the Americas or even in South America. Even in Singapore we have soccer betting, right?
Yeah.
Then they give you half ball. I mean I'm not a soccer fan, so I don't really know. They give you half ball, then they give you the odds, whereby you bet on a certain game, then the payout is based on the odds, right? Right.
Okay.
That is it. Yeah. So that is basically your prediction. When you
I see.
buy the person a 2-win game or a draw game, 2-2 draw game, you know, all these are predictions itself.
Yeah, yeah.
So what you're trying to do is have the standard soccer betting schemes, but the outcome is put on the leaderboard to rank, which is just like a very add-on feature on existing platforms.
Mm.
So if I'm a soccer punter, okay, World Cup, I come in now like, oh, okay, yes, cool, you got a jackpot, cool, you got a prize pool, but why don't I just go down to my neighborhood bookie and bet on the soccer outcome? Why do I need to bet on yours?
Okay.
And then, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
what's the value? What's the value add in it? Yes.
Let me just add, Gary's came up with this idea. So I think Gary should be here to defend because he suggested this. So what are his arguments? He suggested this and he's not here in the meeting. And then
like he's driving today. He couldn't he can't make anything except like Sunday evenings.
However,
Yeah.
you know, if remember there's two types of prediction
five.
modes. One is the game master mode and one is the price differential mode, which is what we have already. The game master mode is the one that I've been describing, the Dungeons and Dragons kind of thing, whereby you just create. It's exactly what the Frank listed on like Reddit forum. The Reddit moderators will say, hey, what do you think of like tonight's S&P score? You know, 5 choices, you choose one. Then, you know, from there you get a point. You know, that is a game master logic. You know what I mean? So the game master, for example, can come into our website and say, hey, okay, today, I don't know, Brazil versus, I don't know, Spain, okay, what will the score be? Okay, so I will come up with the system and I'll give you all the options for you to choose. And then accordingly, I will assign points to it according to what my game master rule is. So anyone can come up with a game master. So they can say, oh, Brazil will have the first penalty. Brazil will have the first red card or something like that. You know, the game master can come up with any variation.
Yes. So basically,
okay.
What we can even
so,
say,
which is basically what the Reddit, the Kelsey forum, the Kelsey app is doing already. Okay. So we can, I mean, if you want to go in form of the game master path, which I don't disagree, which I like, okay, because it will give a lot of flexibility, but then your leaderboard will be very strange because how do you score? For example, your game master creates one game. Okay, game one says that you say, okay, between Brazil and Spain, okay, Brazil will fall down first, as in someone will fall down on the pitch, and Spain will fall down first. So it's 2 choice. So who will fall down on the pitch first? Okay, Brazil or Spain. So it's a very, very simple prediction. Okay. Then another prediction can be a very difficult one. For example, something, I don't know, something very difficult to predict. What is difficult to predict in a soccer game? I have no idea. Okay. So let's,
for instance, if you go to the penalties, you don't finish in time.
Correct. Okay. So let's make a difficult prediction. Another game master 2 says that, okay, there will be a penalty, okay, at the end of the game. Okay, and the penalty will be most likely taken by player number 10. Okay, then the question is yes or no. So you see, then this prediction has a higher difficulty score than the second prediction. But both of them have a +1 or -1 score. So the first one, whoever trips down, prediction correct +1. For this prediction, a very difficult prediction, they can also have the score +1. So in this case, that's why I said that the leaderboard scheme, okay, for this becomes very unfair. because all I need to do is I create a 1,000, okay, very simple predictions, and I just make sure I can keep on getting 111. It will rain tonight on this match, on the match day, yes or no? Another person will be, oh, the first person who stands up to cheer will be Brazil. You know what I mean?
I get your point of view.
Or the cameraman, the first
Yeah.
woman that he will focus on will be Spanish. You see, you can make a lot of this type of
Yeah.
arguments, and you'll push your score up.
So the
You'll
way I
push
see
up your
it, right,
leaderboard.
that
Then-
route is not going to work.
No,
That route
that
is not gonna
route will not work properly on the leaderboard. That means the leaderboard itself will lack credibility at the end of the day. It will be a very nonsensical leaderboard.
Yeah, it will be total nonsense if we go down this route. So what we should
Correct.
do is like we come up with a standardized matrix. I would like even like
So
how
now
many-
the question is,
how many countries are there, right? And it will say like, okay, maybe we like say, okay, well, still have to think about it, right? It's like it's not really clear.
you see when you come up with standardized, okay, so there is two sides of the game, okay,
Yeah.
right now. One, a game master that can create his own prediction. For example, I am a game master, okay?
Yeah.
I say I want to okay, I create a lobby, okay? I'm using the game idea from my actual game itself, okay, that I play.
Yes.
You want to create a private game, you create a game lobby. So in this case, the game master creates his own game, a game lobby. He sets the rules and he pays a money to create this lobby. Okay, he pays 100 TSD for this game. Okay, and the game has this title and has two outcomes, yes or no. For example, all participants who play will be very cheap thing, maybe 2 TSD. Okay, or 3 TSD. They click on yes, they will pay 3 TSD. 1 TSD goes to us because we must earn money. Second TSD goes to the game master. So he earns money for creating the game. And hopefully his game is fun enough to entice more than his cost, which is 100 TSD. He must have more than 100 punters. And the last TSD is to put into the prize pool. Okay, so that is the flexibility. That is one of the ideas that I came up for this game master thing. In this path, okay, there is a lot of fun because we have a lot of creation involved. It is up to the game master to create whatever thing he wants. Okay, and it also provides the game master a chance to earn money. Without even winning or losing. All he has to do is create a fun enough thing. And it is actually self-regulating, because if your statement or your game is not fun enough, people won't join. Then you lose money yourself. So it's an automatic penalty.
Okay.
Self-regulation. Okay. But I am assuming that the Kelsey game app idea is similar to this. I haven't fully explored, but this is what I would do. Okay, for this game master logic. Okay, but the flaw of this is that the game leaderboard will not be credible. It won't be credible. Now I flip the other side. Okay, now no game master. We are the game masters, because then we will know how to attribute scores that is logical and can normalize across game. So we internally, there is a group of us that will determine, okay, this difficulty, okay, is an A difficulty. So we times a variable of what for each score that is created. Okay, but in this sense, okay, it is like the Reddit forum, it is like the Facebook forum where moderators just create a game and throw out the platform. And okay, guys, go and play. Okay, and you have a leaderboard. So it is nothing new. It is nothing exciting. Okay. All it is that entices people is now the price.
Yeah, it's just the price.
So now your price must be higher than everybody else's.
True.
If not, why do I have to join you? So what I'm trying to say is that for a game to entice people, okay, you must provide more fun. You must provide more open world concept, which is open world means it is free for creation, unlimited creation. That's why games like Skyrim, all these open world maps are very famous because it allows people to explore and to do.
Yeah.
Like Roblox, Minecraft. Why is it so fun? Because people get to create their own rooms.
Okay, I get your point of view. So
The other one is your payment must be damn good, which you
Mm.
cannot afford.
no, not
So-
right now. So if we are,
So right
that's
now,
why basically like the fundraising needs to be successful. If not, then essentially we can just forget about this.
no, you shouldn't attempt it to look at things that way. Okay. To me, a business is all about flexibility.
Okay.
Okay. You have a concept. Okay.
Okay.
Right now you have a concept. Your company vision statement is all about credibility,
Yes.
accuracy. Okay. And getting rid of mistruths, or I don't know how you term it.
Information.
Misinformation. Okay.
Yes.
That is your vision. That is the
Mhm.
statement.
Yes.
Whatever roadblocks that you come along the way, you just need to deal with it. You just got to
That's true. So
change, formulate it, and make sure it's in line with the overall company concept. So I do not believe personally that if you do not get funding, that's the end.
okay, I get your point of
You
view.
know what I mean? You
Yeah,
just got to plow through.
So, okay, what I'm saying is if we do not get the funding for this, like forget about the World Cup 2020 like idea and just like scrap it. Yeah.
Not true. You can just find an alternative way. What is the alternative way? I have no idea yet. But there is always a way. To me, there is always a solution.
So that's like maybe like just like simplify it. It's like that particular like thing, like the whole like experience is not gonna be for phase one then.
What
Yeah,
experience?
because what we have now in hands, we have the predictions for price.
For
So
financial
maybe we
asset.
should, yes, financial
Yeah.
asset.
Financial
So should we go in June and July with
No.
this?
It's like the sports thingy, forget about it. We are like right now just like talking about the financial assets like related predictions. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Is there
like-
any way to transform?
But as I understood what Kelvin was saying, that we needed to review his work to really apply for the World Cup.
Yeah. So what
we are
I'm
gonna
hearing
have
from-
it this time. We are gonna have it. Do we have it this time? Because we are like from the last month. Actually, we didn't progress. Did we? Have we?
Yeah, we still haven't like seen the formula yet, which is kind of like
No,
this.
the formula is already out. But the thing is that, okay, because like I said, it's very simple. The formula, okay, I've already started to fully document it out, okay? But the formula thing is that it's basically just two games, okay?
Yeah.
The first logic is to answer this question, okay? Say, I predict that Apple will be $200 by this date. That is the first statement.
Okay.
So as long as the price hits this price within this period, you win. That's the first game. Okay.
Yeah.
Does it apply to World Cup? Now let's use this logic to apply to World Cup. How does this formula apply to World Cup? I predict Apple will hit $200 by this date. How do we apply this into a game, World Cup game?
Related to World Cup.
Instead,
So
change that. Now we change the asset. Okay.
I
Now-
predict Manchester, the whole team would score 50 goals by this date.
Okay.
Oh.
So now your start point is 0 goals. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
now you're talking about a total goal number.
Yeah.
So long as 50 goals is hit,
Yeah.
okay, within
Uh-huh.
this period, you win.
Yes.
Okay, then you can apply Formula One onto that.
Yes.
No problem.
Okay,
You
that's
can do
great.
it
Okay.
because it's a cumulative
It's
price
cumulative.
thing.
Yeah. It's very
Yes,
standard.
it's accumulative. But you cannot apply it to I predict Manchester will score 2-1 or by this date.
No,
You know what I mean?
it doesn't make sense.
Then
Doesn't make sense.
no,
Doesn't make
it can make sense in the sense that 2-1 for which match. So any match 2-1 you hit, you win already.
Hmm,
Then it's no fun. It's a very easy thing to predict.
yeah.
It is as good as saying I predict that Manchester will have a draw game by this date at the end of the season, the entire championship. It's a very easy prediction. So this Formula One, okay, you start to see what is the concept of Formula One.
Yeah.
Okay, or you can, but Formula One, for example, I predict Manchester will have 8 red cards by this date.
Yes.
Then you can use Formula One.
And it becomes interesting, right? Yeah. Now
So can you see the cumulative number?
Yes.
Okay.
That makes
That
sense.
is then it is the same as price action.
It is.
You must think of how does price action change to a different type of mode. Then you can apply. Now the second formula addresses the analysts. What they always say, I predict Facebook will be $300
on this day.
on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
On a particular day.
Okay.
So on the day, we will check what is Facebook's price and we see how far you are from your prediction. And we will penalize you or reward you according to the distance. Okay, so now how do we apply this on the World Cup?
How much scores have you accumulated on that date in total?
Yes, then you can apply.
It's still the same, right? It's still the same.
Yes.
Can I say total goals you have accumulated?
You can.
You have accumulated.
On. So it's a single event. Else the other one is as long as you hit a certain day, you are correct. So there's two differences. One is on a day and one is by a day.
Yes.
Okay, so you see the difference. One is
I get your point of view.
When you're going to hit it. So the first formula is when will you hit it? Time is a time thing. The second one is your price. Okay. Your price is this on this date. So the variable is price. The first one, the variable is the date.
Yes. Got it.
So that is the two formula. So as long as you are saying, and these two formulas are already out. It's ready. It's just I haven't typed it out. What's documentation of it? But the formula is there. Except divide by beta or divide by standard deviation. I don't know yet because that one, anyway, the formula is there. All you need to do is divide by beta or divide by standard deviation. But the formula is already ready. It's just the documentation.
Actually, like Kevin, what I really need you, right? After this, just share with me the Excel sheet so I can go and look at the Excel sheet, copy and paste the exact formula and transfer it to code. That's what I need from you because without that, I can't even do my back end like engineering.
Oh yeah. No. I'm actually
what I've been bugging you about for the past like 2 weeks. Just give me the Excel sheet so that I can do the back end engineering.
Okay.
Because we need to progress.
Yeah,
but I was like saying, Kevin, you're holding me up. I'm trying to do engineering here. I can't even write the code if I don't know what's the formula.
I'd like to make a suggestion. So
what's up?
Hey guys, how are you? Sorry, I joined late, but I've been paying attention for the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And my son's in the back, so I apologize for the background noise.
Yeah.
But I'd like to make a suggestion here. We were talking a few moments ago about the difficulty of predicting, doing a situation where you predict that somebody will score so many goals on such and such date. By utilizing standard deviation in your formula, you can have a standard deviation of how many goals Manchester United scores against a team, a specific team historically, and use the basis of that to insert that type of bet into the system.
Oh.
Okay. So from what I understand, okay, I've not really back tested the difference between beta and standard deviation, but if it makes sense to you guys, just the formula, just substitute beta for standard deviation. It's a very simple thing. It's done instantly.
Well, the question is for Gary, where he's going to get the data to form the standard deviation. With stock market, that's more easily accessible, but with sporting, I don't know if there's public databases that are available for this, Gary. You'd have to research it.
So what we can do, like just use standard deviation of 1, right? Until we get more like data, like from like while the World Cup like progresses. So like day 0 with like no record, 0. as like a standard deviation is 1, because if you put a 0 in the formula, it just becomes 0, right? And like definitely beta wouldn't work in this particular context.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Because, yep.
And also, I think like Gavin, like based on like the examples I shared with you, right? Beta wouldn't work if like it falls into a negative number and there's like a whole bunch of like companies with negative beta.
No, that's for me, why I use beta for negative. When you have companies that fall into negative beta, it self-regulates for us because we don't want to accept bets for those kind of stocks.
How come?
Why do you want to accept? Okay, because if you do that, right, you're going to corrupt the leaderboard. What I want to do for leaderboard is ideally, I want predictions on credible stocks, good stocks.
Gary, I can tell you exactly why you don't want to do this. Let's say that TrueSight DAO, the game becomes incredibly popular, and you're accepting OTC bets. OTC inherently known to have low volumes. So if I put in a prediction that an OTC stock will have a 10,000% increase, which is it had 0 volume and has not increased at all in the past 30 days or a year or 5 years. And then I put in that bet, I can then easily go and manipulate the OTC, drive a lot of volume there with not a lot of money, basically selling this and buying the stock to myself. And
exactly right.
And basically win the game.
Exactly. This is exactly what I is my fear. Val is exactly right.
So basically what I'm hearing from you is like, okay, if like actually then it shouldn't be like using negative beta as a filter. You should be using like kind of like trading volume as a filter.
No,
like
trading volume, a lot of trading volume is not good. I mean, if you really want to think about it,
can also be manipulated, Gary.
Yes.
Market cap?
No, not really market cap. You can target float.
Well, no, market cap. Well, I don't know.
No,
about
you can
float.
target float. If you have a small float, okay, you can manipulate it easy. But okay, you see, Gary, we don't need to capture 100% of the stock market.
Yeah, we don't.
Ability to predict. We just only need to predict the majority of it.
Okay.
So that's what I'm trying to say. So even if we cut away all the negative betas, okay, like even I see on your screen,